His father called it a waste of money. 3 years later, he proved him wrong. I want you to think about something for a second. When people look at a guy spending thousands of dollars modifying his car, they see irresponsibility. They see immaturity. They see someone who never grew up. That's what most people think. And for a long time, I believed them. But what if everything you thought you knew about this was completely wrong? Here's what nobody tells you. The moment a son decides to modify his father's car, it has nothing to do with the car. It never did. I know because I lived it. My father looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're wasting your time. You're wasting my money. That car will never be anything." And something inside me shifted. Not broke. Shifted. See, my father's generation bought cars to get from point A to point B. That was it. A car was a tool. Nothing more. But my generation, we don't just drive cars. We speak through them. We broadcast who we are, what we stand for, what we refuse to accept about the life that was handed to us. That gap between how he saw that car and how I saw it wasn't just a difference of opinion. It was a generational war fought in a garage. Psychologists call it psychological reactance. When someone tells you that you cannot do something, your brain doesn't just resist. It obsesses. It fixates. The restriction itself becomes fuel. My father saying, "You can't," didn't kill the dream. It built the engine. Every single time he walked past that garage and shook his head, I picked up another wrench. That's not stubbornness. That's human psychology doing exactly what it was designed to do. Stop. Think about that for a second. The very person who tried to stop me became the reason I couldn't stop. But there's something even deeper here that I need you to understand. Something that changed everything for me. Because this wasn't just about proving my father wrong. There was a lonelier truth underneath all of it. Before I found anyone who understood what I was doing, I spent over a year completely alone in that garage. No one cheering me on. No likes. No validation. Just me, a flashlight, a YouTube tutorial, and a car that most people would have scrapped. There's a specific kind of pain when the person who first put you in a car is the same person telling you to walk away from it. I used to sit in that garage at night and ask myself if I was crazy. Maybe he was right. Maybe this was nothing. But here's what I was actually building in that garage, and it had nothing to do with horsepower. Psychologists call it identity capital. The idea that the work you invest in something becomes part of who you are. Every modification I made wasn't just changing the car. It was building me. My confidence. My competence. My identity. My father saw dollars leaving a bank account. What he couldn't see was a man being made. And then there's this. The garage became the only hour that was truly mine. 8 hours belonged to work. 2 hours belonged to everything else life demanded. But that 1 hour, sometimes 2 if I was lucky, that belonged to no one but me. Psychologists call this autonomy bias. The deep human need to own at least one corner of your own life. That garage was my kingdom. And nobody, not my father, not anyone, could redesign it for me. And if you're watching this right now, I already know your story. Maybe it's not your father. Maybe it's your mother, your girlfriend, your friends. But someone in your life has looked at what you're building and called it pointless. And every single time they did, something in you said, "Watch me." That's not ego. That's not recklessness. That's psychological reactance meeting identity capital inside an autonomy bias and producing the most human thing possible. A person who refuses to disappear. I need to tell you about the day it all came together. The day the car was finally done. I didn't call anyone. I didn't post it online. I just pulled it out of the garage slowly, and I waited. My father came outside eventually. He stood there. He didn't say anything for what felt like 3 full minutes. And in those 3 minutes, every late night, every argument, every moment of self-doubt sat between us in the air. He finally walked around it once. Slowly, he put his hand on the hood, and he said, quietly, "You did all this yourself?" That was it. For words. But they carried everything. Because here's what I learned in that moment. This was never rebellion for the sake of rebellion. This was a son speaking the only language his father truly understood. Hard work. Dedication. Proof. Some things are better shown than said. I had stopped explaining myself a long time ago. Not because I gave up, but because I realized that words were never going to win this argument. Only the car could. Remember what my father said? Waste of money. He was right. It wasn't just money. It cost 3 years of doubt, 3 years of silence, 3 years of working alone while everyone moved on around me. But what it bought, no amount of money could have given me that. It bought the look on his face. It bought the version of myself that knew, without question, that I could finish what I started, no matter who told me I couldn't. That car isn't just a car. It's every you can't, I refuse to accept. It's every night, I chose the garage over the couch. It's the physical proof that what lives inside you is more powerful than what anyone else can see. So I want to ask you something. What are you building right now that someone in your life doesn't believe in? Drop it in the comments. Because I guarantee you're not as alone in that garage as you think.